Hello and welcome to Football Tactics and Glory, episode 27 here with my Red Bull London career mode. Today we're listening to Kevin Wilson, so sit back, relax, enjoy the video, enjoy the music.
Latest buzzword buzzing round seems to be Me Too, and they're lining up with stories to tell about sexual harassment. Well, it's happened to me too. Fucking heaps of times, but mostly by myself. Wouldn't be a day goes by when I didn't grab me pecker around the neck and crank the living daylights out of him. Unwanted sexual advances, maybe yes, maybe not, 'cause I wanted it alright, but I'm not dobbing myself in. Instead, why me too, after years and years of self-inflicted sexual abuse. I'm victim, I'm the perpetrator too, so I'm gonna start a movement called DIY Me Too. To the point now where I just can't trust myself, but at the same time I can't wait to be alone. Oh, I know what's gonna happen. I'm frightened. Can't take a shit or shower without romancing the bone. Is it bragging or complaining? Is it my personal best or worst? My room's jack off central, but a crime. So should I send myself some flowers or a subscription to a new porn site? Or sue myself for a drum of KY gel? I'm confused, so I'm gonna start a movement called DIY Me Too. After years and years of self-inflicted sexual abuse, not only am I so I'm gonna start a movement called DIY Me Too. I'm gonna start a movement called DIY Me Too. After years and years of self-inflicted sexual abuse, not only am I a victim, I'm the perpetrator too. So I'm gonna start a movement called DIY Me Too. I'm gonna start a movement called DIY Me Too. Political correctness. What a crock of shit. If it's political, it ain't correct. Those two words don't fucking fit. So I wrote a little to sing. Why FMPC pricks the finger? FUBC. Fuck you, political correctness. FUPC. You crippling free thinking and you're strangling free speech. The world's flipping you the finger. Don't give a rat's ass what you think. Fuck you, political correctness. FUPC. Flip and sing. Fuck you, political correctness. FUPC. I learned that sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt. Armed with that and a dilly-gap attitude, my world just seemed to work. But them precious PC snowflakes take offence to everything we say. Millennial dyslexics, they read everything round the wrong fucking way. So I say, fuck you, political correctness, FPC, you crippling free speech. The world's flipping you the finger. Don't give a rat's ass what you think. Fuck you, correctness, FUPC, flip and sing. Fuck you, legal correctness, FUPC. Where's all this PC bullshit coming from? What common sense. Trying to convince us now you can pick up a dog shit by the cleanest end. Don't want us to have an opinion. Can't say now what you see. You know what I see? A bunch of fragile soft-cock fucktards. FUPC. Fuck you, FUPC. You're crippling free thinking and you're strangling free speech. The world's flipping you the finger. Don't give a rat's ass what you think. So fuck you, political correctness. FUPC. Flip 'em one for their dog. Fuck you, political correctness. FUPC. One for the horse they rode in on. Fuck you, political correctness. FUPC. I'm the sort of bloke that'd like to think that if I could go back in time, Banjo and Henry and even Ned Kelly would all be good mates of mine. 'Cause they're pisspots, poets and outlaws, and I can relate to that. And I can relate to their attitude too. In a word, dillygaff. That's spelled D-I-L-L-I-G-A-F, dillygaff. And this is what it means. Do I look like I give a fuck? Dillygaff. Am I being direct enough? Dillygaff. It's just another way of saying I couldn't give a fucking rat's ass, mate. And do I look like I give a fuck? Dillygaff. Your turn. Do I look like I give a fuck? Dillygaff. You see, it's stress relief, matey. It's simple, and it works. Just say dillygaff next time you go with dickheads, wankers and jerks. And when you go out, stick a dillygaff on your t-shirt or your hat. And when some cunt's giving you the shits, just say, mate, read that. That spells D-I-L-L-I-G-A-F, dillygaff. Do I look like I give a fuck? Dillygaff. Am I being direct enough? Dillygaff. Just another way of saying I couldn't give a fucking rat's ass, mate. Do I look like I give a fuck? Dillygaff. Your turn. Do I look like I give a fuck? Dillygaff. Do it again. Do I look like I give a fuck? Dillygaff. Am I politically correct enough? Dillygaff. Just another way of saying I couldn't give a rodent's rectum, mate. Do I look like I give a fuck? Dillygaff. Your turn. Do I look like I give a fuck? Dillygaff. Big finish. Do I look like I give a fuck? Dillygaff. Common sense ain't that common anymore. Seems common sense is past tense, just like the dinosaur. Political correctness has got a lot to answer for, 'cause common sense ain't that common anymore. Political correctness, what a crock of shit. If it's political, it ain't correct. Those two words don't fucking fit. Nor do military intelligence, friendly fire and holy war. But common sense ain't that common anymore. Words made up by academic fuckwits who hide in little fart-filled rooms, throwing random words together 'cause they got fuck all else to do. Starts out as yuppie jargon, ends up fucking law, 'cause common sense ain't that common anymore. Common sense ain't that common anymore. Seems common sense is past tense, just like the dinosaur. Political correctness has got a lot to answer for, 'cause common sense ain't that common anymore. Words like illegal immigrant, is that a fucked up double or what? If you're an immigrant, g'day and welcome. If you're illegal, fuck off. And who's them low-life toe rags letting them sneak through our back door? 'Cause common sense ain't that common anymore. Racist, there's one overused word that's laced with toxic venom, spat out by every do-gooder and minority group when you don't agree with them. Mate, this is Australia. One size fits all, but common sense ain't that common anymore. Common sense ain't that common anymore. Seems common sense is past tense, just like the dinosaur. Political correctness has got a lot to answer for, 'cause common sense ain't that common anymore. Petty crime, there's no such thing. Some poor bastard's got to pay. Here's two words that just might work. Rattan cane. We don't need a fucking police service. Bring back the police force, 'cause common sense ain't that common anymore. So all you soft-cock politicians, try getting your head around this. You're fucking up a great country, and we're tired of that PC shit. Try using a little more common sense. That's what we're paying you for, but common sense ain't that common anymore. Common sense ain't that common anymore. Seems common sense is past tense, just like the dinosaur. Political correctness has got a lot to answer for, 'cause common sense ain't that common anymore. Common sense ain't that common anymore. No, common sense ain't that common anymore. Last year we went into Canada as part of this world tour, and it was quite interesting because to go to different countries you always got to apply for a visa, and you also have to let them know what you do. And we always chase what we call an R rating, meaning that we'd hate kids to come to the show for very obvious reasons. So we always look for an R rating, and we applied for that in Canada, and they gave us the visa with the R rating on the show, which wasn't a problem. But then one of the guys from the consulate over there, he rang our office in Perth and said, "Look, can you tell Kev that we've given them the okay to go ahead with us, but you can't say cunt in Canada." I thought, fuck, you can in Australia. Fucking hell. So I thought, well, what a fucking ideal top name for a song. So we opened in Toronto in September last year, and this is the first song I walked out on stage with. You can't say cunt in Canada. Saying cunt's not very nice at all. No, you can't say cunt in Canada. So I asked the Sheilas what they called it. And they said muff, mut, minge, quim, twat, little flower, twinkle, tunnel of love. So if you're going to say cunt in Canada, you've got to say it with a velvet glove. And you can't say cunt in Canada. Here we go. No, you can't say cunt in Canada, so I thought I'd better ask the guys. And no, you can't say cunt in Canada. Why wasn't I surprised when they said gash, pussy, poontang, beef, curtain, burger, gateway to her guts? Gateway to her guts. Why was I smoking when I wrote that one? Split whisker, beaver, long eye, front bum, growler, hairy lasso. No, you can't say cunt in Canada, because cunt's considered pretty fucking rude. No, you can't say cunt in Canada, so when I get to Montreal, if you're going to say cunt in Canada, you got to say it in French as well. So here goes Philip la Comte President Mitterrand, Pepe La Pew. No, you can't say cunt in Canada. Because cunt's considered pretty damn rude. And you can't say cunt in Canada. Woo! had an absolute cunt of a day. Everything that could go did go wrong, so if I'm allowed to use the word cunt in a song, I've had an absolute cunt of a day. Started as a fart in bed. Well, it started as a fart, but I shit myself instead, and the fucking missus going off her fucking head. I've had an absolute cunt of a day. And running to the dunny like a bastard, trying to hold it in with me finger up my arse, and skidding past the kids and them little cunts laughing. I've had an absolute cunt of a day. I've had an absolute cunt of a day. Everything that could go did go wrong, so if I'm allowed to use the word cunt in a song, I've had an absolute cunt of a day. No hot water, had to take a cold shower. Scrubbing shit from every orifice took a fucking hour. Then fuck, no fucking towels. I've had an absolute cunt of a day. Pulling on me jeans and tripped. Broke me fucking nose and split me fucking lip. Got me cock caught in me fucking zip. I've had an absolute cunt of a day. Help me! I've had an absolute cunt of a day. Everything that could go did go wrong, so if I'm allowed to use the word cunt in a song, I've had an absolute cunt of a day. Then driving myself to the doctors, busted and bleeding, cock swollen and throbbing, not a good time to get stopped by the cops. I've had an absolute cunt of a day. Bastards didn't even let me explain, just cuffed me up and hauled me off to jail. No fucking phone call, no fucking bail. I've had an absolute cunt of a day. Your turn. I've had an absolute cunt of a day. Everything that could go did go wrong, so if I'm allowed to use the word cunt in a song, I've had an absolute cunt of a day. So, Your Honour, that's how it is. That's exactly how it started and how it ended all up here, and you fucking lot laughing ain't making it too easy. I've had an absolute cunt of a day, and I'm in too much fucking pain to plead. And I don't give a fuck if you don't believe me. Just take me out the back and fucking shoot me, please. I've had an absolute cunt of a day. I've had an absolute cunt of a day. Everything that could go did go wrong, so if I'm allowed to use the word cunt in a song, I've had an absolute cunt of a day. I've had an absolute cunt of a, just another one of them absolute cunt of a day. Nashville, thank you very much. It's great to be with you. I first met him in the classroom back in 1963. We seemed to hit off pretty good. We were mates, Mick and me. He wasn't such a big kid even back then at the start, and he wasn't all that clever either, but Jesus, he could fart. I first found that out in class one day when things were going pretty slow, and just to keep us all amused, Mick let this fucking ripper go. Oh God, you should have been there. Look, I'd describe it if I could, but I just turned around and I said, "Hey Mick, you're fucking good." And at the inter-school grand final on the rugby field that time, we were getting beaten. They were 12 and we were 9, and play was 3 yards from our goal line when the referee called a scrum. And Mick said, "Don't worry, fellas, we've as good as got it won." So we just locked ourselves down in the scrum and we held each other's nose. And Mick, our little hooker, he let this fucking ripper go. Well, it stung their nose and it burnt their eyes and it even scorched the grass. And I twigged right then and there, he had a double jointed ass. Mick, me mate the master farter, put the art back into farting with his custom tailored farts. Mick, Me mate the master farter. Right? And it was just a couple of years later, we both went to see Kamal. It was a really poshy sort of show, and it's great big bloody hall. And all the blokes were dressed like penguins. And you should have seen the sorts. And Kamal himself wore a Sheila's dress like a bloody black boy George. And we were all locked in there like sardines for the show to get underway. But the tuba player didn't lob. He'd booked off crook that day, and Kamal said, "Without a tuba player, I cannot commence the show." So old Mick jumps up, said, "Sambo, mate, I'll have a fucking go." Well, from then on in, I honestly thought that the whole show would be ruined. But he just winked at me and picked that tuba up just like he knew what he was doing. Then the maestro tapped his little stick to tell the band to start. Mick just shut his eyes and cocked his leg and then began to fart. Well, you could have heard a pin drop that night there in the hall. And it's hard to say who sounded best, Mick farting or Kamal. Then the audience just went apeshit. They cheered and clapped and stood. And Kamal smiled as if to say, "Hey, Mick, you're fucking good." Me mate the master farter put the art back into farting with his custom-tailored farts. Me mate the master farter with his true pitch-perfect calibrated double-jointed ass. Well, good news travels fast, it seems, and it wasn't very long before Mick got this midnight phone call from Ben Lexon and Alan Bond. They said, "Mick, we got this specialist job and we're prepared to pay ya." "Mick, old son, would you consider farting for Australia? We'll just prop you on our brand new yacht when there's no sea breeze blowing and get Mick the master farter the starter and keep the bastard going." So Mick went into training on sausage rolls and pies and Vegemite and Foster's beer and a scholarship from Heinz. The world had never seen before a yacht so finely groomed, or a crew so fit and young and strong, or an arse so finely tuned. The Yanks weren't even in the race, not even in the same class. What with Ben Lexon and his secret keel and Mick's fuel-injected arse. Well, he come back a bloody hero, didn't he? The all-Australian boy. And the government commissioned this bloke to do a big statue of his koi. And I can still see Mick standing there when they conferred his knighthood. And Bob Hawke pinning it on saying, "Hey, Mick, you're fucking good." Me mate the master farter brought the class back into farting with his designer label farts. Me mate the master farter with his true pitch-perfect calibrated turbo-thrusted fuel-injected wings-protected double-jointed ass. I come from an outback town where fucking nothing grows. No wheat, no sheep, so we can't even boast an annual show. But we got something special there that sets our town apart. 'Cause each year in the shed we hold the Festival of Farts. There's displays and competitions and entries from afar. And those that can't get into town just send in little jars. And off outside's the local cop with clipboard and a pen. Unscrews the lids, then takes a whiff, then scores them 1 to 10. He'll give you 2 points for aroma, 2 for the bouquet, 2 for fermentation, and 2 more for decay, and 2 for presentation of the fancy little jars, and a medal for the best part at the Festival of Farts. And you should see the mob this year that crammed into the shed. Hear the big guns blazing in the Sergeant Talon Quest, with old Sarge on a megaphone as he reads the riot act. Settle down, you bastards. Can you hear me at the back? Now give them all a go, alright, and butt them cigarettes. And any of you cunts play up tonight, I'll bust your fucking heads. And he unfolds his director's chair and squats on his fat ass to adjudicate the entries in the Festival of Farts. He'll give you 2 points for aroma, 2 for the bouquet, 2 for fermentation, and 2 more for decay, and 2 for presentation, style and grace and class, and a medal for the best part at the Festival of Farts. Then the crowd roars its approval as the first bloke lets one go, fucking thunder from down under, to open up the show. Then a double burglar and gurgler with chili afterburn, then a downdraft knacker clanger, shit that must have fucking hurt. And a silencing lascinger that took us by surprise, and a noxious nostril burner that brung tears to our eyes. And old Sarge, the cranky bastard, sat there adding up the marks, as popular as embroids at the Festival of Farts. 'Cause you'll get 2 points for aroma, 2 for the bouquet, 2 for fermentation, and 2 more for decay, and 2 for presentation, style and grace and class, and a medal for the best part at the Festival of Farts. But the highlight of the show this year was 2 kids with a goat that they'd fed on rocks and rotten eggs and dragged in on a rope. And as one young fella grabbed his horns to line old Billy up, his mate just wandered round the goat's arse and fair kicked him in the guts. And that old goat fired a fucking beauty, like a shotgun going off, and fired a lethal load of gravel shrapnel, scared shit out of the mob. And as they all died for cover and hit the deck in fear, old Sarge just kept on marking, buckshot whizzing past his ears. He give him 2 points for aroma, 2 for the bouquet, 2 for fermentation, and 2 more for decay. And all in all, that bloated goat had probably scored a 10, except he fart and shit and shot old fucking Sarge arse overhead. Then with all of the confusion and no cunt keeping score, and old Sarge fucking screaming, they just pissed off out the door. And even when the dust had settled, no one seemed to care that they'd fucked off with the medal, 'cause they'd won it fair and square. That goat got 2 points for aroma, 2 for the bouquet, 2 for fermentation, and 2 more for decay. And 3 big cheers from all of us for payback on old Sarge, and a medal for the best part at the Festival of Farts. That goat got 2 points for aroma, 2 for the bouquet, 2 for fermentation. It was a family tradition, first Sunday every month. Mum and Dad and all us kids go round to Nan and Pop's for lunch. And while Pop was getting pissed, we'd chase the dog around the house. Nan'd be in the kitchen cooking, with a fag end in her mouth. You'd hear her coughing and spluttering as she rattled them pots and pans. Ex-Shearer's cook, rough as guts, but she sure could cook, our Nan. 'Cause her tucker was tops in spite of the sweat and dribble on her chin, and the occasional cigarette ash or drop of dribble dripping in. Then she'd holler, "Come and get it," banging a fry pan with a ladle, and us kids would run to grab a chair as the dog settled under the table, and Pop would be 3 parts pissed as he said the non-believer's grace. Jesus, Mary, Joseph, kiss my ass and lick my plate. Then Nan dish out the veggies, giant serves for everyone, and you could smell the boiled cabbage, yet she never served us none. But that cabbage smell got stronger the closer that Nana got, and Pop would give the dog a kicking every time that Nana coughed. 'Cause Nana never farted, she just coughed a lot. And no matter where us kids all hid, we always coughed a lot. And Pop, the true blue gentleman, always blamed the poor old dog. 'Cause Nana never farted, she just coughed a lot. was doing all that farting, but he just lay there neath the table, gulping down the food that dropped. Figured them scraps were worth the kicking. That's how good Nan Stucker was. But it all come to a head one Sunday when the local vicar dropped by. Pop was so pissed he invited him in. Here, squat your ass next to mine. And as Nan served up an extra plate, she gave a nervous little cough. Pop just casually lifted the tablecloth, said, "Go on, dog, fuck off." See, Nan weren't quite used to having real flash dinner guests like this. And a nervous little cough turned into a full-on coughing fit. And she became so flustered she swallowed a red-hot lit bag end. And every time she coughed and spluttered, Pop would kick the dog again. That dog was barking, us kids were laughing, Nana's face was turning blue. And that toxic smell of boiled cabbage was suffocating the whole room. Then Pop threw himself on Nana. "Everyone out of the kitchen, quick! And take the fucking dog with you before she splatters him with shit." 'Cause Nana never farted, she just coughed a lot. And no matter where us kids all hid, we always coughed a lot. And Pop, the true blue gentleman, always blamed the poor old dog. 'Cause Nana never farted, she just coughed a lot. No, Nana never farted, she just coughed a lot. And no matter where us kids all hid, we always coughed a lot. And Pop, the true blue gentleman, always blamed the poor old dog. 'Cause Nana never farted, she just coughed a lot. Nana never farted, she just coughed a lot. No, Nana never farted, she just coughed a lot. Our twin grandsons, they were only 6 months old. We'd towelled them down and powdered them up when one of them let one go. And with a puff of baby powder and a twinkle in his eye, he turned to his little brother as if to say, "How clever am I?" Nothing funnier than a fart. Nothing like a fart to get you laughing. And the more we laughed, the more he farted. One pissing themselves, one's little ring barking. Nothing funnier than a fart. And when they grow up, they'll be like normal kids and learn to swap farts at school, where he who farts the loudest is considered pretty cool. Just the sound of a fart from under your arm will have a class full of kids in fits, stampeding towards the window, just in case it stinks. Nothing funnier than a fart. Nothing like a fart to get you laughing. And the more you laugh, the more you fart. But them silent ones still got the bastards. Nothing funnier than a fart. Even farting on your own can be good fun, particularly if you're sitting in a bar, capturing the bubbles in your two cupped hands while you try and sniff your own farts. Smells like last night's pizza, mixed with lunchtime's beer and chips. But to anybody else's untrained nose, it smells like shit. Or farting competitions with the missus. We've all done that. Laying naked in bed with a blanket on your head, farting tit for tat, till you squeeze out a farting gravy, and you're thinking, Jesus Christ. Then you nudge your missus, say, "Can't love, it's half time, swap sides." Or an old bloke sitting in an old folks' home can't trust a sneeze no more. Bound to trigger the trifecta. Snot, piss and shit and all. But you can see him chuckling to himself, because he couldn't give a fuck. Doesn't matter if he farts and shits himself, someone else has got to clean it up. Nothing funnier than a fart. Nothing like a fart to get you laughing, and the more you laugh, the more you fart. A simple sneeze will start a shit tsunami. Nothing funnier than a fart. So there you go from go to woe. Farting's a part of life. Even and the Pope and the Queen and Kylie Minogue all got a fart sometimes. So give us this day our daily gas and thank you God for the laughs. Proves you got a sense of humour, I reckon. Nothing funnier than a fart. Nothing funnier than a fart. Nothing like a fart to get you laughing, and the more you laugh, the more you fart. God give you that gas to just blow it out your ass, and if you want to show off, try lighting the bastard. Nothing funnier than a fart. Nothing funnier than a fart. Nothing funnier than a fart.
Right, I'm going to end this video here. I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, hit that bell for notifications. And there'll be more football tactics and glory tomorrow. And until then, I will see you all again. Goodbye.